Good morning. Welcome back to the yard. Today we're going to be doing a little maintenance on our pool filtration system. My pool system is a Hayward model. If you don't have a Hayward model, it's honestly about the same. This is a saltwater filtration system. If you don't have salt water, well, you just don't have to clean out the salt diffuser. Here's our pool pump. It's a Hayward salt chlorination system. We've got a 3-speed pump. You can hear that kicking along. Standard Hayward filter, pressurized, our little leaf catch, and you can see everything's labeled for what we've got going on. So we're going to shut the pump down, empty our leaf skimmer, clean out our filter, and do some maintenance on our chlorinator. We've got our service panel here. We'll open that up and we will shut our switch off. That's going to shut down the system. And I'm going to open this guy up here. Emptying the leaf catch is a simple process. Just pulling that out and knocking your leaves out. Not too big of a deal getting all the little bits and pieces out of there. So we'll put that back in line, make sure it is seated properly. You'll have little tabs where that locks back in place. Put your lid back on, and we're done in there. Knock it nice and tight, and then we'll open up our filter. After it opens so much, the top will start spinning. Not a big deal. It'll just come off easier. When that's loose, we'll lift it up, out of the way. You can see our filter's a little dirty. Caught some of the leaves. We'll get that out of the way. Next, we're going to go ahead and open up our chlorinator here. This we actually have to soak in an acid bath. It's a little tight, so I'm going to go ahead and undo those and set up our little stand. Let's see if we can take a look inside here. It really doesn't look bad. You can see some buildup of the salt as it diffuses in there. You'll have some buildup. It's not bad. I just did this maybe a month or two ago. So we've got our standard stand that'll fit our Hayward chlorinator and some muriatic acid. So we're going to screw our chlorinator onto the stand. I'm going to fill it about 1/3 of the way with the muriatic acid, and then fill it the rest of the way with regular tap water, and that's going to bubble up, start cleaning it. So we filled it 1/3 of the way with the muriatic acid, and then the rest of the way up with water. You can see it bubbling in there really nice. That is the acid working. The acid's not going to damage any of the plastic. This is the recommended way to clean these salt cells. So we're going to let that bubble a bit and clean our filter. Cleaning our filter is super simple. All we're going to do is hit with this with the hose. Start at the top, work your way down, and you'll see all that good stuff coming out of it. Once we rotate it while we're rinsing it off, I like to go ahead and flip it over and rinse it off again just to get everything out of there. So we've got our filter cleaned, we've got it put back in place. This guy's still bubbling a little bit. Really, you just kind of want that to go until the bubbles stop, and that's going to help get all the deposits off there. So we're going to put the top back on our filter, just kind of reverse the process. Set that in place, give it a couple of spins, put it in a position so your relief valve is not blowing at your window. I just angled it a little bit so I can see it where I'm working there. I can see the pressure, and the water is just going to spray off to the side. And we'll tighten that down. Doesn't need to be super tight. That should be good. And now we're gonna dump this guy out, give it a rinse, and put it back in place. Now we've got our pool pump back together. You can notice the salt cell is kind of tilted to the bottom. This allows us to get any air bubbles out of the cell itself. As long as the cell is completely covered in water, you'll get the most out of it. So you want the cell to kind of be lower than the pipe itself. So we know we've got everything closed up. Go back to our access panel, turn her on. With this pump, it takes a second before it spins up. There it goes. We can see inside of the little window, it's going to start pulling a draft on our water. We'll go ahead and open up all of our valves so we can get as much water in there as possible. And we'll see it start bubbling. Once it's got a good vacuum, a good draft on the water, that's going to start flowing. We'll go ahead and open up the relief valve on the top so we can get the bubbles out of the line. You'll see some bubbles coming out of the pool as it pushes the air out of the lines in there too. We're spraying water. Go ahead and close that guy. And our pump's running. Got a little bit of a leak here. Just check your connections, make sure those are all tight. Alright, back at it. So our pump's running. Now we don't have any leaks around our salt cell. I guess I must have had it a little cross-threaded. I just undid the threads, redid them, and we're good to go. Be easy to reset the inspect cell light. We're just going to hold the display button down for 3 seconds, and that light will stop flashing. According to our generator instructions, which are posted on the inside of the panel, inspect cell light flashing means reduced cell efficiency or scheduled 3-month cell inspection time. Go ahead and clean the cell, which we just did. So we refreshed it, and everything's good to go. Power's on, it's generating, it's got flow. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd enjoyed this video, want to see more like it, please give me a like and subscribe so you can get access to my future content.